I want to welcome you to the showing of the Economics of Happiness. I hope that you'll find it helpful in creating a very broad alliance of people who will resist the TPP and who will understand that everywhere in the world, literally everywhere, it's in our interest to support our local businesses, our local farmers and fishermen and producers, and to connect the producers and consumers in local areas to create millions of markets instead of one global market where giants are imposing what I call forced trade on people and ending up importing things that cost less in the local economy than local products. So things that come from 10,000 miles away cost less than things that come from 1 mile away or 10 miles away, only because our governments are blindly, and I think really without understanding what they're doing, supporting global trade, deregulating both finance and trade in goods, because they believe that that creates jobs when it actually destroys jobs. I made this film because I hope that it can be a useful tool all around the world, because the truth is that everywhere around the world today, we're being influenced by the same global banks and corporations. Our real government has become a blind, speculative casino where people sit on the other side of the world and they don't even know the impact on nature and people. And so literally all around the world we're feeling the effects from the same companies, the same Monsanto, the same HSBC Bank, the same World Bank, the WTO. Therefore, to have a film that helps people all around the world to strengthen diversity, to strengthen respect for their own language, their own culture, and to strengthen the local economy in order to protect diversity. So this is why we made the film, hoping that it would be a useful tool all around the world. Well, I think what's happened in the industrialized world is that people have not seen that we are still being developed, that plans, economic plans for our future are being made without discussing or consulting us, because there's been an assumption that global trade, that ever more energy and technology are good for mankind, so that politicians from left and right have been going along with an economic agenda which has actually become a global government. So I think it's very, very important that we understand how broad the impact is of this economic planning that's going on out of sight and out of mind, because it's just following blind assumptions. I don't think it's so much of a conspiracy of sort of a few bankers and a few politicians who have personal, greedy intent. We have a structure that is being pushed by blind shareholder interest to simply have as the central objective to amass more wealth. It's a structure that cannot respond to ecological, spiritual, social needs. It's shaping government, it's shaping policy. So in addition to shaping our thinking, it's now shaping our world. It's an economic now combination of banks and corporations that are actually misshaping Gaia herself. Related to that is certainly the understanding that once we see this system in its broadest form, then it's not a question of either, good and evil people. It's not actually a question of ethics and values. And therefore, I think we can be kinder towards the people who are still promoting the TPP. I think we can have we can assume that there are people of goodwill who are on the other side intellectually. because it's actually a little bit difficult to see this global system from a global point of view. It takes effort to recognize the link between these policies, even in unemployment. I and now an increasing number of people are convinced that there is actually a path towards more secure jobs, more meaningful work, smaller gap between rich and poor, that supports biological diversity, that uses much less energy, that also means that the speculation and that the banks will be more responsible. There is a path that is economically, socially, ecologically, and psychologically one that can bring improvements. It won't suddenly transform the whole world and make it into paradise, but it will make, at all those levels, life better for all of humanity. This is not a path just for Japan or just for Ladakh. This is a path that can be helpful worldwide. So I very much hope that you'll think about these issues and help support this movement and bring it about as soon as possible. There are many things you can do right now with this consciousness that will show you that it also will make you and your children happier. You know, that connection to other people, the face-to-face connection, more consciously building community, more consciously helping your children to be in nature, and to have this way of quieting the mind, where you don't just function on an intellectual level. Getting together to sing, to dance, to make music, and celebrating life is part of the localization path, and something that you must be sure to give yourself time to do, as well as raising awareness about these very important political and economic issues. Thank you.